And welcome to the Bulls Digest postgame as the Chicago Bulls get beat by the Orlando Magic tonight, 133 to 119. And this game, it really wasn't close. I think the Orlando Magic really came out just from the start of the game, established the way that this game was going to be played, and they really didn't look back. They led by as much as 27 tonight. I think that Jalen Suggs was huge for the Orlando Magic, and they also played very big. I think that they did a great job as far as using their size against the Chicago Bulls, and I think that that was really the story of the night, that just the Orlando Magic continue to play well, especially defensively, which we're going to talk about that. But even in a tough loss, there were some good bright spots for the Chicago Bulls, and I think that there are certainly some things that this team can take, and I think that these are habits that you can continue to build upon. And so let's go ahead and jump into the box score and take a look at just some players that I think really just stood out in tonight's game. And so I first want to say that probably the MVP for the Chicago Bulls tonight, it has to start with Lonzo Ball. I think that Lonzo Ball coming back tonight, I think that he was great for us. Look, he played 15 minutes, but in his 15 minutes, he had 6 points tonight. He had 4 steals. He had 3 assists. He had 2 blocks. I mean, he was all over the place, and he was +7 in the plus-minus box score. And I just loved his defensive effort. I talked about this in the pregame where I was thinking that, Lonzo Ball is going to help this team as far as maybe cutting down some of these turnovers. But I think defensively, he's going to help this team just knowing where to be. And that's exactly what Lonzo did today. I'm not sure where he's at just athletically now after the surgeries and things like that. But I think he looks great on the defensive end, just knowing exactly where to be with the rotations and things like that, understanding body position, some of the steals that he had from behind, like understanding that. And then also, too, just his ability to, as soon as he gets his hands on the basketball, to get the fast break started and get players into scoring position. Like, man, you just wish that we could get like extended minutes from Lonzo Ball, but I know that that's probably going to be something that is going to be a journey as he continues to work back. But I think it was great to see Lonzo out there today. I think he was huge for this team, and I have to give him, I think, the MVP of the night. And so next up, just players that played well. I want to go ahead and give Ayo Dosunmu his credit tonight. Look, I think he did a terrific job as far as going out and just being a one-man fast break. And I know he didn't shoot the basketball very well from the three-point line, and that's something that he's really been struggling with. But I think that as he continues to attack the basket, I think that maybe he's going to come out of this slump. And I loved his defensive effort again. And I just like the fact that he is, just showing the ability to impact the game. I'd have to look at some stats to see, what the comparison is between him coming off the bench and starting. But it seems like he's starting to find his way offensively, I think, in the starting lineup. And so I'm not sure how much longer that's going to last, depending on what's going on with Patrick Williams and if Billy Donovan decides to go a different direction. But I think as a starter, he is generating some points. He's being a one-man fast break tonight, 21 points, 2 assists, 1 steal. He had 4 rebounds. None of the starters really played well from a plus-minus standpoint, but he was a negative 19 in that regards, and so he's right there with, I believe, Vooch as far as tied for the starters plus-minus. And so, I think that he did a good job today. And so next up with Vooch, and so I think Vooch did a good job as far as just doing what he normally does, going into the paint, continuing to put up the double-doubles. I think that this is either the 13th or 14th game where he's done that. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. He did have a negative 19 today. But again, Vooch continues to keep it rolling, and that's all you could ever want from Vooch, is that he continues to keep playing well. Next up for Zach Lavine. And so Zach Lavine, look, he was really in a distributor role tonight, wasn't really getting things going offensively. And I think he was trying to be assertive, but the shots weren't falling. He just really didn't get on that heater like he's done before. But I do like the fact that he did go out there and get multiple assists. In fact, 10 assists tonight, 5 rebounds. He was negative 20. But the fact that he's trying to do other things to help this team win, that's all that you want, especially, if there is this possible trade value rising around both of these players. Who knows? But, it looks good, the fact that he's out there and he's trying to do other things than just continue to jack up shots out there. So I think that Zach Lavine, once again, playing with his pace, once again, just going out there doing his best for the Chicago Bulls. And so with that being said, with Josh Giddey, 13 points, 2 rebounds today. He had 5 assists. He had 1 steal. He did have 2 blocks. Did have 3 turnovers. He was negative 21. I think for him, he just really didn't get going until later in the game. I think it's in the third quarter he scored all 10 points there. But just a slow start for Josh Giddey and kind of a slow start for the team. And then one of the things that we're talking about was just the defensive effort, which collectively it just wasn't good. And so, it's good to see that Josh Giddey is finding his way as a scorer. You want to see him get back into getting the rebounds with the assist at this point in time. But again, this is kind of a work in progress and a tough night for him tonight. Kobe White as well. I think Kobe, he was the worst. So if a negative 29, look, 4 turnovers tonight, 9 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. And the takeaway for me for Kobe White is just he continues to go into the lane, and it's like he has layups, but he continues to try to get the home run 3-point shot. And I think that there were a couple times where we either could have got a layup or something better, and he just gets caught in the air. And so he's got to just stop doing that. And so tonight it's tough because he had a good game against the Wizards. It's games like this that you want to see him rise to the occasion. Unfortunately, it didn't happen tonight, so a tough one for him. And then, going back to the bench, I think another player that really was an MVP for us tonight was THT. And I think THT, 20 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. He was +7, but more importantly, he was 3 of 4 from the 3-point line. And what I love about THT is he's had various just did not plays because of the coach didn't put him in the game. And I love the fact that he's ready to go. And every time that he's gotten in the game as of late, he is showing Billy Donovan that, he's a player that we should consider, especially if we're trying to win some games. And, who knows where we're going with the direction of the franchise. But THT, I think he's doing a terrific job of coming in and providing that instant offense and just bullying his way to the basket and then getting to the line. Like, I love that about THT. And I think that helps, some of the other younger players that we have out there, knowing that you have a source of offense in that second unit. So THT did his thing tonight. Julian Phillips, look, he was a +12, 4 rebounds, 3 rebounds, 4 points, 1 assist, 1 block. He also had 1 steal. And so just kind of stuff in the stat sheet. It's good to see him come back from the illness and continue to try to play well. We did lose Dalen Terry to the ankle injury. We didn't have Jalen Smith. He was out due to an ankle, so hopefully both of those players can come back quickly. One of the things that Stacey King mentioned is that, we had some players that really stepped up tonight off the bench that are going to make Billy Donovan perhaps consider throwing them in the rotation. And I'm talking about E.J. Liddell. He had 5 points. He had 2 assists tonight. He also had a steal, and he was +5. Also got, Chris Duarte came in. He knocked down some shots as well. I know Stacey King raved about him. And so we'll see what happens with the Chicago Bulls. And at this point in time, look, we're definitely trying to figure out who is going to stay and, who's obviously going to go, and trying to figure out what the direction is with this team. And so the more these players play, the better it is, just trying to figure out what you're going to do. And with Modest Buzelis, look, 25 minutes tonight, he did foul out, He had 7 points. 2 rebounds, he had 1 block, and he was -6. And, just going into just learning from your mistakes, I think that is Modest Buzelis. But it's good to see that he at least played 25 minutes tonight in a tough loss. And like I said, with the Orlando Magic, I think it was Jalen Suggs. Like, Jalen Suggs, man, he just had it going tonight. But there's several other reasons, I think, why the Orlando Magic really got into the Chicago Bulls. And so let's go ahead and jump into just the team box score and some of the key takeaways from that. And so, in looking at the team box score, I think that one of the things that really was glaring to me is just the turnovers, right? And so I talked about this in the pregame, how good Orlando has been at forcing turnovers. And tonight, look, they forced the Chicago Bulls into 18 turnovers, 18-13. So the Bulls had 18 turnovers, and I think that the Orlando Magic were averaging right around 16. And so, look, they turned them over. They took care of business there. And then as far as points in the paint, the Magic had 60. We did have 58, and so this is something to try to grow off of here. Hopefully we can continue to maybe bring that paint presence, but we have got to find ways to stop it on the other side. So 60-58, the Magic win there. The Chicago Bulls do get 30 assists, so that is a good takeaway for tonight. We had 29, so the fact that we are sharing the basketball, getting these assists. 8-6, Magic lead in block shots today, so they did a terrific job again in using their length and size and really kind of affecting some of the things that we wanted to do offensively. As far as fast breaks are concerned, I talked about Ayo. I talked about him getting downhill, and I think he did a great job. Lonzo starting these fast breaks. Look, we were 28-11 in that department, so we did a terrific job as far as running the floor, but I think that there were opportunities that we could have gotten some more layups. And we blew it. Like, we were in situations where we just kind of tried to make the extra pass. The pass was errant on the lob or something like that, and it cost us. And so that's something that we have to get better at, and that goes into the turnovers. And so lastly, just looking at the field goal percentage, not too bad for the Chicago Bulls. Look, 52.9 and then 38.1 from three. The Magic at 51.1 and 38.5 from three. So not bad as far as percentages. Just the Magic, just again, take it to us defensively. They did their thing and they led by as many as 27. So a tough one for the Chicago Bulls as they get set for the Boston Celtics at home, I believe, on Friday. And so, hopefully we are able to rebound from that. I believe it is going to be a cup game for us. And so hopefully the Chicago Bulls are able to win that. And so 133-119, the Chicago Bulls lose the game. Just taking a look to see if we have anything in the chats before we sign off. And so doesn't look like we have anything there. I just want to thank everybody out there for liking, sharing, and subscribing to Bulls Digest. It means a lot as we try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year here. And so once again, tough loss for the Chicago Bulls. And as usual, I'm saying go Bulls. And I will see you on the next one. All right, peace. Peace.